I wrote something in this book. This book titled Positive Mentality for the Cameroon That We Want. Positive mentality for the Cameroon that we want. I wrote something there in page 151. And I decided to share it with you people today on social media because it's very interesting. And looking at what is happening all over Cameroon presently and many other African countries, where the common people, the civilians, are pointing an accusing finger to the government, blaming them for whatsoever is happening, the suffering, the hardship. So if here in this book, I talk about it, that the common people, the civilians, they also have a part to play in the terrible things happening in our country, corruption and many other things, because the common people are in front of a begging those in position to recruit them or their own children, pressurizing them and forcing them to do such. And then I talk about that those who are in position and they have these strong family ties will never hesitate in answering such a forceful request from family members and friends. And this, I say, this is strongly behind the corruption that have become a cankerworm in Cameroon. A corruption that have destroyed nearly everything, because when unqualified relatives and friends occupy position in our country, what are you expecting from them? What will you be expecting from them? Corruption, mismanagement, embezzlement. Because they don't know what they are doing, they can never in any way produce anything. They can never in any way satisfy anybody because they are ignorant of everything. And out of that ignorance, they will cause a lot of confusion. And because of fear, they will not turn to embezzle and steal in order to remain in that power, in order to stay in the society and not in prison. And that is why you see in our country, the government in Africa and in many other third world countries would choose people from nearly all over. Yet, when immediately they join the government, they become corrupt. You see, families, tribalism have never helped because you are taking people who are not qualified and then put them in position at the detriment of those who are qualified. And finally, they will turn to embezzle and yield no fruit. And that is the main reason I'm saying that what the common people also are contributing to the suffering that they are going through. Many of them send their children to school, but immediately after graduation from the university, they will not ask the child to go and write. They just have that mentality that there is corruption. If you do not buy your way, if you do not bake, if you do not pressurize relatives, your children will not have any position. And that is a system. They push it and push it. I keep on saying, I wrote it also here, that if you do not give, I will not take. Meaning, if you do not offer bribe to all those in top position, they will not come to your house asking for it. When you have in mind that if you do not give bribe, you can never occupy any position, you will be forced to do it. But if you remove that mentality, the whole thing is that what people will be recruited. And if all the common people decide and say, we are not going to give bribe to anybody, the government will not say we are not going to recruit. And they will not have any civil servant. No. When they have no choice, they will do it. They are taking bribe because we are there to give it. And we, the common people, we need to change our mentality positively in this aspect. Because many of us are looking at tribalism just as if it is a tribe person trying to help. No. When they are helping at the detriment of those who are qualified, it is corruption. And that is why I put it here. I'm just praying that when this book will be out, you should struggle by all possible means to have a copy. Because it is not just a normal writing where maybe you read as if you are reading history. It is tied to positive mentality for the Cameroon that we want. It is a mental transformation book aimed at building a positive mentality. And it will be a very good guide for nearly all nations, for the country that they desire. Because I talk about corruption in nearly all aspects, the things we are doing in all our nations, especially in Cameroon, that are bringing our country down, keeping us where we are. The only thing we need to change is our mentality. When we change our mentality, we will be like Europe and United States of America. That is the only difference between this Europe and Africa. Europe and United States of America and Cameroon is the mentality. And the way to change that mentality is here in this little treasure.